to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visit to my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell. And so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And this is not your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. So today I'm going to call it Ratchet Wednesday. And I'm calling it Ratchet Wednesday because I'm going to have ratchet conversation and do a review on Love After Lockup, okay? So today I'm talking about Season 4, Episode 50. Friday was the last episode of the season. And boy, oh boy, it was going on, okay? So today I have on my Girl Bye t-shirt. And it's Ratchet Wednesday, and so when somebody do something that I don't like, I'm gonna be like, girl, bye. Okay? That means get out my face. Next. And I got this girl bye from Nene Leakes. She used to say that all the time, but my girl, my ex-neighbor, Astoria, made this t-shirt for me, and I just love it because I don't have to say nothing. This shirt says it all. Okay, so if you're new to my channel and you have not listened to my review that I did last week, and you are not familiar with Love After Lockup, check out last week's video because I explained everything that's happening with the couples that were on that night. And so I went from the beginning and got you all caught up. So if you are familiar, we're going to just get right into it. Okay? And girl, bye. Girl, bye. That's what I'm going to say to some of these people. Girl, bye. But anyway, we're going to get right into it. The first couple that we're going to be talking about is Lindsay and Blaine. Okay? So it starts off, Blaine is outdoors somewhere in the woods, and he has this fire going, and he's throwing old toilets and all kinds of stuff in the fire, and he's letting off steam, blowing steam, saying that, you know, he didn't like how Lindsay had talked to him before he left. She threatened to call the cops if he took the truck, and he just felt like she talked to him like he was a nobody and made him feel very low in life. And so he was letting off steam, saying how he done a lot for this woman and for her to just switch on him, and she always leaves and all this kind of stuff, and she never sticks through the hard times, and he's tired of it. So then he gets a call, and it's, of course, Lindsay. It was like, can we talk? Can you come over so we can talk? And so he jumps in the truck right away. He was happy to get the call. While he's driving, his lawyer calls and says, guess what? I got good news. You know, you paid your restitution. You paid $20,000. You paid the fines. You've been doing well, abiding by the rules. And so they talking about taking you off house arrest, and that's the end of your case. But I'm going to need another $3,000. Now, I would have said, girl, bye. But, you know, hey, he got to do what he got to do. So he was like, oh, okay. He was happy. He said, maybe this will be some good news for me to tell Lindsay. If you see me looking down, yes, I'm reading. You know, I've jotted down notes and to make sure I get everything I need to get in. So he gets to the where Lindsay is, and she's sitting there, and she's still talking about him. You know, I'm just tired. You know, you don't do this, you don't do that. You know, I do everything around here. If it weren't for me, you know, we wouldn't even have no lights. And, you know, she was just going off, and he was like, wait a minute, you called me here for this? He said, come on now. He said, don't act like I never done nothing. He said, listen, I got some good news. They're going to take me off house arrest for paying the $20,000 restitution fines. And all I have to do is pay another $3,000, and that's it. And she was like, you are crazy. You was a fool for giving him $20,000. She said, listen, he said, listen, I didn't ask you for no money. And I'm going to do what's best for me, and I'm not trying to go to jail. And if I went to jail, then what you going to do? So he was like, so I'm going to come up with this money, and don't act, you talking about what you did. When you was getting out of jail, you couldn't even get a ride home. I came and got you. You didn't even have nobody to stay with. I let you stay with me in my house. You didn't have clothes. You didn't have food. I gave you all of that. So don't come at me like I never did nothing to you, Lindsay. He started crying. I love you, girl. I'm just going through some things. And I just love you. And she said, I just need help. That's all. I just need help. And she said, I love you too, baby. And bottom line is, these two clowns, they started kissing and making up, and he said, one day I'm gonna marry you. And she was like, well, when you gonna get the ring? He said, in due time. She was like, I don't like your time. So she, in confession, she said, if this man don't ask to marry her soon, then she's gonna ask to marry him. She said, he is my sweet, sweet spot. I just love me some Blaine. So, that's how they ended. You know, these two clowns, they go back and forth and back. Lindsay is a firecracker, so he gonna have his hands full with her. But the bottom line is, it's a lot of love between the young couple, and so I wish them well. Moving right along. Next, we're going to talk about Amber and Puppy. Okay, so it ended at last week where Amber was moving out from TC's, from the place she was living with TC. TC comes home and he seen them moving, and she was like, I'm moving because I can't deal with this. I come home to this house after we just got finished saying you need to clean the house. And when I say that house was really, really dirty, girl, bad. I would have left him too. It was just nasty. I don't know how people just let their house get like that. And so she said, I'm leaving you. You know, you don't love me. You don't care nothing about me. You look like you ready for me to go. And you never helped me me through the thing with the baby. And, and he was just like, yeah, all right, okay. Just go, whatever. He had the whatever attitude. So she started crying, and Puppy and Queenie was trying to calm her down, and Puppy was like, give her a cigarette. Let's give her a cigarette. Like the cigarette was the cure for everything. But I guess the cigarette, if you're a smoker, can calm you down. So she was crying. I wouldn't have did all that crying in front of that man, especially when he was acting like he didn't even care. But while he was listening to her cry and talk to her friends, he really felt bad. He was like, oh my God, I'm just not a nice person. I could have done this. I could have done that. And he started crying himself, So she comes in the room and she was like, you could have at least with this child, when I had the abortion, it wasn't that I wanted to have the abortion. I didn't have a choice. I was hurting. So he was like, I named the baby when you told me you was pregnant. I named the baby. I started thinking about how the baby would be running around the house. I have feelings. I hurt. I just can't really show them to people. I just how I am. So she was like shocked that he was even crying or acting like he cared. And she said, only if you did this, if you had only done this early on in our relationship, because that's all I needed. That's all I needed. He said, I just couldn't. So she gets up and consoles him. And they cry together. And she said, you know what? We can still be friends. This is what I needed from you. It's just a day too late and a dollar short. But I'll take it. And he told her he was sorry. And she said, well, he said, do you hate me? And she said, I don't hate you. We can be friends. And I didn't want to end it on such a bad note. So I'm glad you talked to me like this. If only I came home to a clean house, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, they left on great good terms, and that was the end of that. She left and she moved in with Puppy and Queenie. And so the next couple was Sean and Sarah. My allergies, I'm sorry. So Sean and Sarah. Sarah is getting her breast implants, and Sean is like questioning, why are you getting these breast implants? He was like, I think that you want to get back with your baby daddy, Anthony. And she was like, no, that's not it. I've always had low self-esteem. My confidence wasn't high because I didn't have any breasts. And I would like some breasts to just make me feel better about myself. And he wasn't believing it, but they dropped the baby off to her mother's house and he stayed in the car. He was like, I'm not going to say nothing to your mother because she lied to me. She was going along with what you were saying when I purposely asked her what's going on. I can't talk to her right now. So she takes the baby on to the mother. And she was like, where's Sean at? And she was like, he's not trying to talk to you right now. He's still upset that you lied. Well, he better get over it. He better get over it. I'm your mama. You finna have surgery. I'm taking care of y'all baby. So she shouted out, you better get over it. And he was like, you shouldn't have lied to me. You better get over it. So she said to her daughter, even though he said he got the kid and he's okay and he can handle y'all, if you have any problems, let me know. I'll come take care of you. And so she then goes to have her surgery. And she comes back and, she was on volume, for the pain. And he was like, I hope you don't get addicted to that. And she was like, listen, this is doctor's medication. I have to take it. And so he was like, are you sure you're not going to try to you didn't do this for Anthony? And she was like, no, I did it because I wanted it, And so in the when he ended up saying, when they speak behind closed doors, he says, I don't know if I made the right decision. Everything went so fast when she got out of jail. I don't think it might have been the right decision to get married. He said, I just feel like this man, he done got himself together. He's back in his daughter's life and he going to try to take my family. I'm just worried about him taking my family. She's looking at things. He was being a good father. He was bathing the baby in the tub. He was taking care of her. And she was like looking at him and she was thinking, you know what? I love this man. I hope, I know he has insecurities about my father's child, but it was just a relief to bring him back into her life. Well, so she can be introduced as her real father. It was weighing on her. She might not went about it the wrong way, but she said she loves her some Sean. He has been the most stable man and relationship I've been in. She said, yeah, it crossed my mind to get back with Anthony, but if I would have got back with him, I would have had nothing. And she not stupid because she know that man put her in a nice home. She don't work. He bringing home the money. He helping her with the baby, whatever problems he had, not helping her around. He changed that. And I'm glad to hear that she got some sense and she loves him. And he loves her. He's just is insecure. So I'm hoping, I got my fingers crossed that everything works out with those two. But it ended on that note of she loves him. Okay, so it really wasn't a lot going on with those few couples I've talked about. Where's jumping off at is Tanya and Chase. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Taylor and Chase. So the scene starts where Taylor's in the car crying. She crying with her sister, okay, in the car. And then finally it's like she snapped out of it. She said, you know what? I'm tired. Let's go home. And she started driving home. And so basically she was saying that she could do bad by herself. She said he's a good person. He just got a lot going on. But you know what? She could do bad by herself. He's not bringing no money in. He's a gambler. He's a drunk. He's a cheater. And she's really had it with Chance. So meanwhile on the ranch, Chance wakes up at his friend's house. And he's like, you better get up and get out of here. I have to go to work. And you was a fool last night. You cussed your woman out. You acted a fool. You was drunk. He said, you need to stop that drinking because you have a problem. And he was like, I don't have no problem. I just, drink a little bit. He said, the people you around know you have a problem. And you need to get on out of here. I'll take you to your car, and you need to make up with your wife because you was wrong. And so he was like, that woman is the best thing that ever happened to me. I was wrong. So he drops him off at the car, and he's, driving around thinking, he's wrong, and hoping this woman is going to take him back. So he gets outside the house and calls her up and says, I'm sorry. And she was quiet. And he said, can I come in and talk? And she said, as long as you're not acting a fool like you did last night. So he goes in, and she's on the bed with the baby. And he's like, I'm sorry. Tanya is nobody. We never had no type of relationship. I just talked to her, and I was wrong. And she said, you was wrong. You didn't let me know. You did not let me know that you were going to be with a woman. And she was like, I've had it. And he was like, listen, baby, I go to counseling. I do counseling. I do AA. I do whatever, I lost my job. And she said, and you didn't tell me. You didn't feel like you could tell me. That's a problem. He said, I didn't know how to tell you, but I had so much on my mind. But I know I was wrong. I know I need help, and I'm willing to do it if you're willing to work with me. And she looked at him like, girl, bye. Honey, she should have told him, girl, bye. But she said, because we have children and I just had your baby, is the only reason I'm going to give you a chance. But she really didn't feel like deep in her heart that he going to be any different. But she's ready to walk away because she said, hey, I'm really best by myself. I can do bad by myself. I don't need him. If he can't give me money and he can't do the things I need and I can't trust him, I don't need him. So I was proud that she at least knows that she could do better by herself. But I understand that she wants to try to work with him so that, because she has children. Personally, I don't think he's going to get himself together. But I always wish everybody luck. So they did it 2 months later. And they said he was working, and he was working on a project in the house, and it looked like he was doing well. And so I wish them both the best of luck. Next case. Okay. So we're going to go to Aries and Cameron. Honey, they the ones that brought life to the show, Aries and Cameron. So it starts off with Cameron's sister was at his house, and he let them know that the reason why Aries didn't come to the party they threw for them was because she was sick. And they was like, well, you didn't tell us that. We sitting up jumping all over this girl, and she's sick. See, you don't want to be starting stuff all the time, keeping stuff started. And he was like, I'll take that, but I don't think she would have came anyway because she wouldn't want to see me drink and get drunk. And they said, you was a straight up clown. Why are you drinking? Now the sister bought him a bottle of something. I think it was some champagne. And she was like, you need to work on your drinking. And he was like, well, let's do a shot. And it was like, a shot? Man, I just gave you this bottle and you gonna open it up right now? How come you just didn't say, well, I'm gonna put this on my bosses and we'll drink it later? And he was like, you need to use your common sense, because if you think I got a drinking problem, why you bring the alcohol over? And he made some sense. And she was looking stupid. She felt stupid. She was like, well, you the one need to use your common sense. Because common sense is you shouldn't drink it right now. You shouldn't be drinking if you having problems with being sober. And so they was both getting on his case, his sisters. And he started getting mad. But then he finally broke down and said, you know what? I do have a problem. I'm embarrassed about it. He said, hell, last night I had pee in the closet. I didn't even know I was in the closet. I don't never want to get like that again. Now, I would have said, excuse me, guys. Oh, my God, my allergies is really bothering me. I would have said, girl, bye. You peed in the closet. Oh, my God. He should never want to drink after that. But he said he's, privately dealing with it. He's privately dealing with it. He knows he has a problem, and he's going to work on it. But for tonight, he going to drink. And so they was like, you just need to stop right now. You need to man up and do what you have to do. And he felt like, you know what? I provide. I have a home. I take care of bills. I'm taking care of a daughter that's not mine. I'm sitting up unapologetically. He had to throw that in there. And, so I'm only thing I'm doing it wrong is drinking. And they was like, all them good things you named, you're going to lose if you continue to drink. And they was on his case, and he was accepting it. One thing I did like about Cameron, he admitted that he had a problem, because once you admit, then you can start helping yourself, So that's a good thing he did. So after all of that, he takes them around the house, and they love in his house, and his chest was spoke out, and he was proud. He was like, I'm so proud that my sisters love my house. And I really do like his sisters, because they keep him in check. They keep him in point. They don't sugarcoat anything. They just tell it like it is. So later on, they all went, the sisters and Cameron met Aries and her daughter and her father at a restaurant. And they ordered their food, and the little girl said, oh, they gave me the wrong drink. And he was like, hey, lady, hey. And her father everybody was looking at him, and he was like, listen, we don't do that in no restaurant. That's not how you call a waitress. And he was like, he stood back. He said, okay, well, she getting her drink. The lady came over and gave her the right drink. And I said, that man is ghetto as all outdoors, honey. He thug city, baby. He thugville. And so he takes off his shirt and reveals the t-shirt with the picture of the baby in his wife's stomach. And he was like, you having a baby? And he was like, yes. It's how you know it's a girl. We already know it's a girl. And the sister told the daughter, how did you keep this secret from me? And then Aries was like, that girl, I'm surprised she did, because she can't hold a secret. So she said, well, you can't either, Ma. You told Dad. And the sister was like, oh, wow. After you told your husband you weren't going to tell, you told your father. And behind the scenes, Cameron had, he was like, he really didn't appreciate that. He's sitting up thinking he's dropping a bomb, and the father already knew. But evidently he understood, because he didn't get mad about it. And so it ended with, they made a toast with lemonade and pop, and they had these cookies that says it's a girl, and they had a toast with the cookies, and it ended on a happy note. 2 months later, they said that they were working on the baby room, and the baby is due in August, and it looked like they were happy. So congratulations to them on their baby. I hope everything works out. I hope he gets his drinking together. But I know he really loves Aries and her child. So hopefully he does the right thing. Next case. Next on the list is Monique and Derek. Oh my God. So Monique, it ends when she kicked Derek out her house last week. I guess he stayed in a hotel, and he calls her and said, listen, Monique, I'm sorry. Can you just come out and apologize and talk with me? I really am sorry. So he goes somewhere and meets her, and it's like, after about 30 minutes, he's like, oh, it's cold out here. Maybe she done, don't know, got lost or something. Woo, it's cold. I hope she on her way. Yeah, she just running late. She probably, didn't got lost or something like that. She coming. Soon enough, she come walking. She had her suede boots on, and she had on this dress and everything. She looked nice. And so she was acting like she was unbothered by his apology. She said, what you want? He said, "I'm just really sorry. I know I was wrong. I messed up. I would do anything for us to be together, for us to work it out. What can I do?" She said, "Well, first of all, you can start by stop sleeping in your stop putting your cell phone in your drawers when you go to sleep." I started to say, "Girl, bye, girl, bye." He put his cell phone in his drawers. You know that man ain't no good. So he was like, "I'll stop that. And I'll give you the codes to my phone." So, her eyes was looking like, "What?" She said, "You for real?" He was like, "Yes." He said, "Baby, I love you and I want to work it out." And she said, "But you always say this." He said, "No, this time is different." She said, "What makes it different?" He said, "Just come with me. I want to take you somewhere special." They walked down and there's an ice skating rink. And she said, "I know doggone well you don't believe I'm going to get on some ice skates." And he said, "Why not?" She said, "I'm not dressed for it." And I know she wanted to say, "Do I look like," and she said that, "Do I look like I'm going to get on some ice skates?" She should have said, "Girl, bye. Girl, bye. If you think I'm going to get on some ice skates." So he said, "Well, I don't know how to skate either, but he grabbed, like when you training, you learning how to ice skate, the little thing you hold on to is like a little snowman. And while he was skating, she was walking with him. And he was telling her how much he loved her and how much he gonna be right this time. And then he told her to stop walking. And then he said, "Would you marry me?" And he pulled out this ring. And she was looking like, and I'm like, she was like so stunned. She was shocked, but doggone well that girl was gonna say yeah. And then she said yeah. And he put it on and says, "Would you be my missus, honey?" They kissed and honey, he made all her dreams come true. And she was like, "Are you for real? You gonna change?" And she said, "I love that man. I love him. I'm not ready to give up on us. I'm gonna be with him." And so that's how it ended. And 2 months later, they said they were slow planning the wedding. And so, I say you go by what a man do, not by what he say, but he did go get a ring. So maybe he does love her. I don't know. He didn't act like he loved her, but maybe he does, and I wish him the best of luck. Okay, so next on the list is Michael and Justine. Now, they wasn't on the show last week, so I'm going to give you a little background on Michael and Justine. Michael's 35 and Justine is 35. Michael was the one that went to prison, and Justine was his girl. They were dating before he went to jail. I think I want to say, she got about 6 or 7 kids. Now, if I'm wrong, don't beat me up, but it's a lot of kids, okay? And he got out of jail, and honey, they just was making love somewhere everywhere, and the girl ended up pregnant. And she told her mother was like, "Why? You got, between the two of y'all got 8 children. This will be 8 children." So he got kids too. I think he got like 3 kids or 2 kids. I don't know. But she about to have his baby, and he talking about, I guess before he went into jail, he was having a career as a rapper. So he went back to doing that. His old buddy, who's also over some record company, is trying to help him get him back on track. And he told him last week, I didn't know you had a girl and you serious like this. And so he said he didn't like it, but he was like, "It's cool. Just make sure you don't, put that in don't be walking in public with her at your performances and don't have no rings on. Just try to, act like you're single for your career." So he told her, Justine, about it, and she didn't like that. She like, "Girl, bad. You my man. We got a baby on the way. So anyway, this scene, episode 50, they go to Vegas. He goes out there to meet his friend. He said he's going to be performing at a club out there. I think he hadn't been on the stage for about 6 years, because he's been in jail. And so they met before, they met, and he saw that she was pregnant, and she told him, I'm pregnant, whatever. I believe that happened last week. He told his friend that she was pregnant, and he was thinking about getting married. This was last week. And he said, man, you need to hold on to that ring, get married to her. Get your career going, and then do it. It's going to be hard representing you, and you got all these kids, a baby on the way, you're about to get married. That's not going to be attractive to the your fans. And he kind of agreed, but didn't know on the fence if he was going to propose to Justine. And he did get the ring. So, episode 50, they're in Vegas. And she trying on dresses, for what she going to wear to his performance. Like, honey, like she's Pretty Woman. The movie Pretty Woman. She's trying on all this stuff. They was in the banging hotel. They had their ride. They came in town, right? And so they started getting dressed. She picked her outfit. They went back to the hotel room. They was getting dressed. He was very nervous about performing. And she wasn't used to him being nervous because he's always so sure about himself. Now, what I didn't like about him was his hair. I think his hair looked too wild, I think he should have either put it back in a ponytail or put some braids in it. But the way it was, baby, bye. That's what I said, girl, bye. Girl, bye on that hairstyle he had. They get to this club, and this man is acting like it's going to be, people in the audience to help him, scouts. And it's going to be banging in the club, and it wasn't nothing but a few people in the club. Girl, bad. It wasn't nobody in that club. So if he wanted to propose to her, so what? Wasn't nobody there. So he did his little performance and stuff, and his girl was disappointed that, the manager didn't get enough people to come. And she like, instead of worrying about me and him, you need to worry about managing him. And she right about that. And so he got on the stage and did his little thing, and then he proposed to Justine. And the manager was outdone. He was like, I can't believe he did this in my city, on my stage. He acting like he's somebody, baby. He acting like he's Swiss Beats. He acting like, he Puffy Combs, honey. And not doing nothing at the end of the day. So I was glad he proposed to her, because guess what? She pregnant. You might as well propose to her. And so, they're very in love. So that's clap for them. He put a ring on it. She was shocked. She was like, he said, would you marry me? She was like, yeah. And see, the backstory on that ring was, I think he took money out the bank. He took, I want to say $10,000 or $20,000 out the bank. And she was mad because, I don't know if it was that much. It might have been $5,000. Some money was missing out the bank. And she was mad about it. And he threw her some flimsy excuse. And she didn't want to rock the boat with him. He just got out of jail. And that's what it was for. So basically, he bought the ring, with that money. And so, good for them. Hope it all works out. Okay, and we have, last but not least, our last couple up tonight, we have Brittany and Marcelina. I think his name is Marcelina. I'm probably not pronouncing the name right. Marcelina, I forgot. But we have them. And so, Marcelina, whatever his name is, he set up and flew Brittany's mother in. And they were renewing their vows. And his brother drove in. His mother was there. And the children. So when the mother came, she was talking to Brittany, and so he said, "I'm gonna go and and get everything ready at the beach." So the brother came and he laid out this long piece of paper that you walk down. It was white. Threw some. He was doing this, throwing some sandbags on it to keep it down. At the four corners, he had, I don't know, it was something. It might have been some candles. I don't know what it was, but it was like this big, and he had them in the four corners. He put up a table and had a cake. There was like a vase with a small vase with little flowers in it. He put a white tablecloth on. It was plastic. And then he gonna ask, he threw it together like in 2 seconds, okay? So he said to his brother, "So how does everything look?" He should have said, "Girl, bye." But he was like, "I hope does she still have her pen to sign the divorce papers?" To say, "This looks like crap." It was real. Oh my God. He should have been embarrassed. That shows what his feelings are. Because what he threw together looked like it was thrown together. It was cheesy, very cheesy. But that's what happened. So he's waiting for his bride, and they came late. The mother acted like she was the preacher and was, saying, "Do you take this man?" They both said their vows. The vows were pretty nice. They said some good vows. They both cried when they read their vows. And then they put their rings back on, exchanged their rings again, and they kissed. And they popped. They had a cheap bottle of, looked like it was Andre on the, popped that open. It was just cheesy. They could have stayed at home for that, But that's what they did. And they vowed to love each other. He said he loved her. He was crying. And 2 months later, she found out that he was with another woman. And when they renewed their vows, he was with this woman. And she was just disgusted. She was like, "This man did all of that, renewed his vows with me, said he loved me in front of everybody, when he knew he had him a side chick on the side." And so it showed him 2 months. This was 2 months later. He was he was with his cousin that lives in Florida, and he wanted to be with his cousin to have family for support. And he just was like nonchalant. I'm just a selfish person. I'm selfish. He didn't want to be married. And he said, "But I'm glad I got married, because then I always would want to know how would it be to feel to be married." But obviously, it was nothing he wanted to do. And so he said, "It is what it is." So they're separated. I liked Brittany's attitude. Brittany she cried, but she said, she's going to move forward. And she was at the beach with her children. She said she's going to, be a better mother, a better person. And she's just going to, try to live, just go on with her life. And it hurt. She cried. But my advice is this, and this is with anybody, man, woman. Don't never, when he asked to renew the vows, she was skeptical. She said, because she said he hasn't put the work in. He didn't show me that he was going to change. But she's just going by his action and what her heart is saying. And sometimes you got to not listen to your heart and be, mindful of, you got to go by what somebody do, not by what somebody say. And if this man has not proven or shown you any type of changes or put any work in, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I wasn't surprised that this didn't work out. Now, going back to Derek and Monique, he has not put the work in. He has not shown her, other than by buying her a ring, and anybody could buy a ring, that he's going to make some changes. So if I was Monique, I would have just, not taken the ring, but considering, I think because she feels like she's overweight and all of this, that maybe she won't find a man like that again. But I wouldn't have took the ring from Derek, because I don't think Derek is going to change. But that ends Love After Lockup Season 4. I wish all the couples that are still together the best. And we just have to stay tuned for the next season. And so I hope you enjoyed this review. I think I'm going to start doing Ratchet Wednesdays, and I'm going to start reviewing 90 Day Fiance, because it's talking about couples, and that's what this channel is also talking about. And then when they start back up again with season 5 on Love and After Lockup, then we'll do that. But I'm going to start 90 Day Fiance, not this week, not next week, because this Sunday is the season finale. I think it's the where they get on and they talk about what happened to each couple. That's going to be the last episode. And so I would just start when they start a new one. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for watching my channel.